and welcome to this edition of Left, Right and Centre. I'm Nidhi Razdan. Tonight, as Salman Khan's fate rests with the High Court tomorrow, Bollywood stars flock to his home for support. From Sanjay Dutt to Salman Khan, as the film industry backs its own, is there no sympathy for the victims? Also tonight, the chilling story of a suicide pact by teenage girl athletes at the Sports Authority of India in Kerala. One girl is dead. Were they ragged? Were they harassed? Bhaichung Bhutia joins us as we look at what went wrong. But first, will Salman Khan go to jail tomorrow? That's the big question as the Bombay High Court gets set to hear his bail plea. He got relief for 2 days from the court yesterday after a 5-year jail sentence that a lower court announced in the 2002 hit-and-run case. Today, a sea of Bollywood celebrities have been visiting Salman Khan's Galaxy Apartments home in Bandra in his support. And while they feel sorry for Salman, for the victims, it's been a harrowing 13-year wait for justice, such as the wife of Nurullah Sheikh, the man who died when Salman ran over him. She's still waiting for compensation.
बहुत तकलीफ हुआ तो ना एक टाइम हमको खाने को भी नहीं लेता बच्चे को इसके लिए पढ़ाई भी नहीं कर पाते अभी रैबिट धोता है कभी नहीं मिलता भी नहीं कड़ी से कड़ी सजा नहीं दिया जाएगा कुछ नहीं करा जाएगा अभी उसको जो हमारे उनको मदद हमारे को कुछ कर दे बस और कुछ नहीं चाहिए
Begum Sheikh is still waiting for compensation. Her husband Nurullah Sheikh died after Salman Khan lost control of his car and climbed the pavement, killing him on the spot in September 2002. But she hasn't seen any of the money Salman deposited years ago as compensation. On the Bombay High Court's orders, the actor gave rupees 19 lakh for the victims, but Begum's share is stuck in a legal wrangle.
His legal heirs are claiming, but since there is no residential proof, therefore they are unable to get the compensation withdraw from the High Court.
सरकार की तरफ से कुछ भी नहीं हुआ नहीं है ना सलमान खान की तरफ से मेरे को कुछ भी नहीं चाहिए जो अपने वो जो मेरा जो हमारे देने तैयार हो वो हम कुछ बस और नहीं
तो मैं ये चाहता हूँ कि जो है हमारा पैर जो है टूट गया है और उससे जो है मतलब सजा भी ना हो और हमारा जो है परेशानी जो है मतलब जो 13 साल बेकार हुए वो हमारा मतलब सही से मतलब कटे.
According to the High Court, rupees 10 lakh was set aside for the deceased's family. Rupees 3 lakh for each of those who received serious injuries and rupees 1.5 lakh for each of those who suffered minor injuries. Abdullah Sheikh, who received serious injuries, says he did not get the entire amount ordered by the court.
कंपोजिशन के बारे में मैं सुना था कि 19 लाख रुपया कोर्ट में जमा हुआ था लेकिन जिसमें से मुझे 1,80,000 रुपया मिला बाकी के पैसे के बारे में मुझे नहीं मालूम है.
For the victims of the 2002 hit-and-run case, it's been a long wait for justice. All of them were pavement dwellers, barely eking out a living. But in what seems worse, some of them now claim that they were denied the monetary support that they were promised to rebuild their lives. An NDTV Bureau report.
Well, the question is whether Bollywood has lost the plot. What about the victims of the hit-and-run case? Bollywood is supporting Salman Khan. It's feeling sorry for him. But are the real victims being forgotten at the end of the day? We've got Shaina NC and Anil Dharkar joining us first on the show tonight. Mr. Dharkar, to you first. Are you surprised at some of the reactions that you're seeing from the film fraternity? Certainly, there are people who are entitled to support Salman Khan in this case. But do you see a sort of a disproportionate reaction where hardly a word has been uttered from that side about those who were victims in this case, the man who died, and so much overwhelming support for the actor?
Yeah, well, it is quite shocking. And in fact, the reactions yesterday, which came from the Bollywood fraternity, showed a certain callousness, especially one or two tweets. One of them saying that if you sleep on pavement like dogs, you should die like dogs. Another one also along the same lines, again, seemed to be blaming the victims. Now, I know this is not the general attitude of Bollywood. Most of the Bollywood tweets were sympathetic to Salman, which is understandable. They know him, etc., etc. But nowhere, not one single person has said what happened to the victims. Now, you know, the little clips you showed, I think so tragic, because for 13 years, the focus has been on the superstar of Indian cinema. But for 13 years, what happened to the victims? The shocking thing which you have revealed is that the man who died, his family hasn't got a single paisa. What happened to the 19 lakhs? Why haven't they been given to to the people who really needed it? I believe also, talking of this compassion part, that Salman Khan never once went to the hospital, never met these people whom he had injured, never went to the family of the person he had killed. Even more tragic, I think, is the case of Ravindra Patil. He was a policeman, a commando. He was the personal bodyguard of Salman Khan given by the police. He was in the car when the accident happened. And I think his testimony was the most important, because he knew that Salman Khan had been drunk.
And he died a very
that
lonely
he had
death of
No, but
tuberculosis.
point I'm making, Nidhi, the point I'm making is that he's the one who handled the whole thing, because Salman Khan ran away at that point. After that, in 5 years, he died a horrible death, because he was depressed, he was pressurized, he lost his job. He died a physical wreck of 30 kilograms of TB. Did Salman Khan ever show the slightest sympathy to the man who was guarding him?
I think those are all very important and very strong points that you make, Mr. Dharkar, and I'll take that to Shaina. Shaina, has the reaction been disproportionate? Certainly, as Anil Dharkar says, those who know Salman Khan and who are his friends will be sympathetic to him, and that's understandable. But somewhere along the way, has Bollywood become disconnected from reality and from empathy with those who are victims of this hit and run?
Nidhi, I've been wanting to say this, and I'm glad you've asked this question. There are two different aspects which we need to completely segregate. Number one, that he did make a mistake, he committed an accident for which he has been punished, and nobody is contradicting with what the courts have said and the final judgment. I don't think any law-abiding citizen, including his own family or his own father, would want anything other than what has been meted out for a accident that had been caused. That is one aspect. You constantly asking, but look at the kind of support he is getting, and does that try to influence the case? No. If you have a relationship with a person, or if you have known somebody for a long while, or you belong to an industry and you realize that, the aspects which, yes, what Anil is talking about are very important. The victims, they haven't received the compensation because the courts have held it, and the courts have said that it will only be given to them after the completion of the case. The victims, if they were given X amount by Salman, would have seemed as if he was trying to buy them out. I completely concede that when one talks about Ravindra Patil, he has been, it's absolutely sad the way he has, gotten to that depression and died. The fact is that if Salman or his family had tried to show any compassion towards him, it would have seemed as if they are trying to influence a witness. That is one aspect. The other aspect about the support, Nidhi, which is very important to understand. Being Human, through his foundation, he has cured close to 6 lakhs children's heart ailments, 3,000 cancer patients, and many other people. So he is bound to have a fan following and a certain kind of blessing and admiration from sections of society, including Bollywood. But I don't think anywhere down the line is it suggesting that because he's got this following that he should be acquitted of the case or he should be absolved of charges. What is due to be given out as if to say that law is equal to all and fair for all is absolutely happening in a systematic way. The only unfortunate part is it took 13 years, which is unfortunate because that in itself is also a punishment to many.
But the point that you make, and I'll take that to Suhail say before I come to Rana. Suhail, the point is that you know what Shaina says about Salman's charity work. In fact, that was something his lawyers brought up in court at the Sessions Court yesterday as well as an argument against his incarceration. But there is a feeling, especially among the Bollywood fraternity, well, hey, this is a great guy. He's the guy with the golden heart. He's done so much great work. Poor Salman Khan. I mean, they seem to suggest that it does absolve him of what happened that day. Chodo, it happened.
I don't think they suggest absolve him. They believe that the punishment is too harsh for a person who had already began on the path of reformation. See, there are two parallels playing out as we speak. The one parallel is, will the film fraternity close ranks? Of course they will. I mean, you know, it's only journalists who let Tarun Tejpal hang out to dry for whatever reason. But the point is that the fraternity is very, very inbound. It's very closely knit. Plus, given the standing that he has, the fact that he comes from a lineage that he does, I believe the insensitivity has been expressed by certain quarters of Bollywood. I also agree with Anil that, you know, a certain amount of demonstrable compassion must have been shown, but here's the reality. People don't even want to stop when they see someone fallen injured on a street in this country because of the repercussions that they will face. If Salman Khan had gone to meet the families, I'm just putting a hypothesis, a lot of people would have said, see, he's guilty, therefore he's gone. He may have been ill-advised by his lawyers. Now, celebritydom forces you to take positions such as the ones you take, which then, you know, are counterproductive. I completely agree that, you know, it would have been a great gesture and a genuine gesture if he had gone and met the families. Today, you have families that are languishing. The courts have held back the money, which is despicable. So here's the reality. This case will not get over today. There'll be an appeal. They'll go to the Supreme Court.
You don't think
families don't get compensation.
If you look at the forget the, you know, the more extreme tweets that everyone's debated since yesterday. But if you just look at the roster of, you know, different Bollywood stars who've tweeted or spoken out in Salman's support, did one person say that my heart goes out to the victims of this?
Not at all. But why do you blame Bollywood? Other than your channel or one or two other channels, Barkha, I know last night did speak to Kaleem Saab. How many channels have actually taken the side of the victims? How many channels have actually gone out to see what their plight is? How many channels have taken on the judiciary? Why is there not a lawyer on a panel who is willing to take on the judiciary to say that why on earth have you kept back the compensation? Why is a Muhammad Kaleem languishing in a village in Uttar Pradesh where he can't work? Why? And you know, the reason that they give for the 19 lakhs being held up in the Bombay High Court is, oh, there was apparently a dispute in Nurullah's family.
Yeah, in the family.
Which is ridiculous. So here's what we need to do. Unless we reform the judicial system and make even judges accountable, to just talk about the fraternity, which, by the way, will close ranks. I mean, you tell me, let's be realistic. Which Bollywood star will go and say, which Bollywood star will go and say, listen, I'm glad that Salman Khan has been punished and he deserves to go in. No one's going to do it.
No, but
it's an incestuous industry.
No, but Rana Ayub, you can certainly express, you know, they can express their support for Salman, but also say that, you know, they feel for those who were victims of the hit and run. And yet, you know, the whole narrative is, well, you know, he's a good guy and, you know, this shouldn't have happened. I think somebody tweeted that whatever the courts may say, you know, he's a good guy and you can't take it away from, you know, you can't take that away from him. Rana.
You know, Nidhi,
I just take that to Rana Ayub, just Rana. Yeah, Rana.
Yeah. Nidhi, the DB, I mean, you all have been barely audible because of some technical issue, but from whatever I can gather, I mean, you know, to be very honest, this pro Salman Khan, you know, team which has come out to support him, and, you know, this entire brigade, oh, you know, Salman is a brash boy, but he has a heart of gold. Believe me, it's very nauseating. It's absolutely nauseating because it doesn't matter if Salman Khan runs this charitable organization called Being Human. It doesn't matter that, you know, that he has a merchandise called Being Human and that he helps lakhs of patients across the country. What matters is, here is a man who was drunk that night and who killed a man and who injured 4 others. And that is a crime, that's a huge crime. And why are we ashamed of acknowledging it? I think Bollywood, most part of Bollywood has been pretty spineless when it has, you know, come to this situation. I can see most of them tweeting on social media that, you know, the verdict aside, feeling sad for Salman Khan. I'm sorry. Here, why? I mean, you feel sad for a man who has killed somebody? Yes, I mean, we have all lauded Salman Khan in the past. None of us have any personal, you know, agenda against Salman Khan. But why can't we just treat Salman Khan as any other accused? Why is it that Salman Khan's lawyer want to tom-tom about his Being Human crusade? Why do we want to know?